Hey fellow YouTube motorcycle enthusiasts. In this video I'm going to teach you the basics of motorcycling from starting the bike to riding and your takeoff. And that'll be later on in the video. I'm going to start by just answering a question or two about what gear you should have your bike in when you're about to start it up. You always want to have your gear when it's parked, especially on a hill, on an incline or anything like that. You always want to have it in first gear so the bike doesn't roll back or forward. But when you're starting the bike, you want to have it in neutral. But if you're on level ground, I usually just go ahead and put it in neutral. Another question you might have is how do I know what gear my bike is in? And the easiest answer to that is if you can roll your bike endlessly, then it's in neutral. But if you can only roll it for about 6 inches to a foot, it's most likely in gear. Let's say, for instance, you've stopped your bike in second gear, and or whatever gear it might be, and you're having a hard time trying to get it back into first or neutral. You always want to pull your clutch in and go down as far down as you can until it stops, and then you're either in first or you can go back a half click up into neutral. Now I'm going to teach you the basic controls of a sport bike, or any motorcycle for that matter, whether it be a cruiser or anything else. So here's the basic controls of a motorcycle. This right here that I'm pointing to is your instrument cluster. It houses the tachometer, the speedometer, and other things like fuel, and also has blinker indicator lights and high beam lights, etc. Let's see here. Down on the left side, this is your clutch right here. You'll pull that in, and let's see, you've got your headlights right here, your turn signal is right here, and if you can see it, your horn is right under that. And let's see here, that's all on this side. On the right, this is your engine stop. This is the engine cutoff switch. You'll hit that down on my bike if you want it to be on, and to cut off you do off right there, which is the top. This is the ignition switch right here. This is how you turn the bike on. I don't know if you can see that, but let's see if I can get a good picture. This right here is the ignition, and this is your brake right here. This is your front brake. You'll pull that in, and this right here is your throttle, which you'll go counterclockwise to give it throttle and clockwise to release the throttle. This is your ignition right here. This is where you put the key in, and you'll have either like a lock, off, and on normally. That's kind of how it works. And when you stop the bike and you want to lock it, you'll turn it all the way to the left, counterclockwise, and you'll have the handlebars right here all the way to the left, and you'll be able to lock it then, so it won't move. The handlebars won't move. This is your gas tank right here. Down below on the left side, this is your shift lever, your kickstand right there, and this is the peg that you put your left foot on. Over on the right side, you'll have your right foot peg right here, and your rear brake is right here. You'll push that down to engage the rear brake. And that's the basic controls of a motorcycle. In a minute I'll show you how to start a motorcycle, and also I'm going to teach you how to take off on one. I'll go ahead and give you some tips right now though. When you let out the clutch, look at the RPM level it starts to want to die at. The exhaust sound gets real quiet, and you'll hear it. It'll kind of start to sputter a little bit. Look at that on your tachometer and see when you hear that sound and you feel that sound, it kind of starts to lose power. Make a note of where it kind of begins, so that you can always keep the needle above that RPM. I think that helps me out quite a bit. For instance, mine is about 1,000. Anything under 1,000, it kind of starts to lose its power, and make sure to kind of always try to keep it up above 1,000. I think probably where it'd lose is probably about 500 RPM is where it would probably cut off. Now, depending on what motorcycle you have, it'll vary, but from my experience, I've had two bikes, a Ninja 250 at first, and this bike, 2004 Honda CBR 600 RR. I've noticed that it's usually about 3,000 or 4,000 RPM is a good range to take off at, and you can do it higher when you have more experience or whatnot. But the key is just to always let the clutch out slowly, so it's smooth. Now, the way I turn off and on the motorcycle is strictly with the key here. I don't use this too much, the engine cutoff switch right here, just because it leaves the bike on without the engine running. And if you do that, this is a tip for you, you don't want to have the bike on without the engine running for too long, or else it'll completely drain the battery and drastically reduce the battery's life. So you want to kind of avoid that, and on my bike I have to let the fuel prime, and which takes a few seconds, but after that it's ready to go to be started up. So you just never want to leave a bike on without the engine running too long, so try to avoid that. Now, as a safety precaution, you want to hold the front brake while you're starting it up, so it doesn't, it's not a false neutral or anything like that. But I do that sometimes. So if you're starting it for the first time, you might want to just do that just to make sure everything's it's not going to run off on you or anything. And hold the clutch in. If it's in neutral, you don't have to hold the clutch in, but if you're ever starting a bike in first gear, which you probably don't want to do that often, but if you are, you would hold the clutch in, and I would probably hold the front brake in too, or the rear brake together if you want. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up and show you how to do it. It's in the off position right now, and I'm going to turn it right onto on, but I'm going to make sure that this is pushed down, the engine cutoff switch, and I'll go ahead and do that, and you'll hear the fuel pump prime. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to hold the front brake in while I do that. Bike, and I'm going to show you kind of how the takeoff will work. You'll see on the tachometer there that when it starts to fall under 1,000, it has a weaker sound. So I'll just try it out. One thing you always need to remember is to put the kickstand up, or the bike will turn off. So that's a very common problem that everybody has, whether it's advanced or beginner. So I'll show you when the bike moves and when it begins to fall. I'll show you. I'm going to take off right now. I put it in first gear right now, and I've got the clutch in. So I'm about ready. Now watch when it starts to move. I'm going to let the clutch out, and I'll let you hear that it starts to move at about 1,000. Anything less, and it begins to lose a lot of the power and could stall on you. Let the clutch out real smooth, real slow. Just make sure to have that RPM above a certain amount. You'll get used to it, but you'll notice it when you start practicing your takeoffs. What RPM range that it starts to lose power at and begins to stall, and you'll need to keep it above that. So that's how, and then whenever you feel like it's about to stall, you just pull the clutch in, and I'm going to go ahead and take off now. And I'm going to, as you can see, 2 is good, 3 would be fine. Anything like that, that 2, about 150 right now. At 2 right now, climbing. You can see I'm going up to about 2 on my bike. Changing at about 5. In second gear. I'm in first gear now. I'm going to take off. Make sure your engine speed is matched with your wheel speed. And I mean wheel, not real. Because if you're going any kind of a speed like 20 miles an hour, you always want to, say if you're in 6th gear and you're going pretty fast and you slow down, and you go, say you're going 60 miles an hour and you kind of suddenly have to go 20 miles an hour. You don't want to be in first gear when you let the clutch back out. You probably want to be in 2nd gear or something along those lines. You're going 20. You always want to. It's always better to be in a higher gear compared to a lower gear, because then the bike will suddenly slow down and you can have a wreck. So I always try to be in a higher gear rather than a lower gear. Start off again and rep it to about 3. I'm going to make a turn right here. The 3rd gear right now. Go back to going in first. It's in neutral. Motorcycle off right now. It's just kind of cruising in. Got a bunch of leaves here. These leaves can be dangerous. It can wipe you out pretty easily, especially if they're wet. So you might always want to. You always want to use your rear brake when you're at a low speed too. Like if you have gravel or whatnot, you definitely want to use a rear brake. But if the roads are okay, you can use your front brake. I do it sometimes, but your front wheel can lock up, and you can drop your bike if you don't watch out. But for low speed, you usually want to use your rear brake, especially when you're turning. So anyway, I hope you all have learned something from watching this video. Probably make more at some point. See y'all.